may or we may not ask questions. We have your application, so.
Okay. My name is Robert Rummel. I live at 148 Shaw Drive. I've been on the board for several years, and it's a great board. All we can ever do is give people good news. They already have the bad news, and we have the opportunity to allow them to do what they're hoping to do. So it's a great board. I think we serve a good purpose there, hoping to continue on.
Okay, do we have questions? Roger.
Robert, I'm curious, what have been the themes of the things coming before you in the past few years?
Many times it has to do with riparian setback, and there's a few building issues that have come up, but very few of those, mostly riparian setback and seeking approval to do some construction type of thing in that setback.
Okay, good.
Are there more questions? Well, there it is, Robert.
Okay.
I appreciate you applying just like everybody that applies for the board. This is a great foundation in this city, and we rely on you. We sincerely appreciate your efforts.
Thank you. Glad to serve.
Okay, we're going to move on to Board of Zoning Appeals. Olivia? Same thing, name and why.
Hello, my name is Olivia Kennedy. I had the opportunity to serve on the BZA for about 8 months, so I'm really enjoying it, and I would like to have the opportunity to serve for a full term. And yeah, I'm excited to continue to give back to the city.
Okay, you have questions? Heidi?
It's not on. So I'm just wondering if there was a particular case or whatever we call them that you heard that you were pretty engaged with, that you that kind of sparked your interest.
I would say all of the cases, particularly residential, just getting to smile and be happy, especially if they don't have to invest in something that's like a huge project. So it feels good to be able to support them, and yeah.
Further questions?
Roger. You haven't served on that board for 4 years, eons ago, before you were born. Curiously, how difficult is it to say no when it's got...
I would say, I mean, it's not. Like, the code is the code, so just reverting back to that and reminding them. So, yeah.
You don't find that difficult?
No, I wouldn't say, yeah.
You probably do it with a smile.
Yeah, I try to smile a lot.
Further questions? Olivia? I like the name Olivia. Is that kind of an old family name?
No, I'm the first in my family.
Is that right?
But thank you.
It is a nice name.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Design and preservation, they're not here, Alan and Mark. Move on to Fair Housing Board. Parks and Rec. Stipkin is not here. Steve. Is there a Steve in the audience? All right. James?
Hello, my name is James Doherty, a resident of Kent for going on 7 years now. I went to Kent State University. I served on fundraising. I would like to serve on the Parks and Rec Commission because I really enjoy giving back to my community. I enjoyed always cleaning up the river, and I think there are certain things that could be done to make our park system even more enjoyable for our residents.
Questions? Roger.
Parks there's parks and then there's recreation.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you know about the recreational programs that are being offered by?
That is one thing I would like to focus on is youth sport development. I see there are several youth basketball leagues. You know, I grew up playing a ton of sports. I'm originally from Canton, Ohio, so sports are kind of within me. Being able to focus on leadership and character aspects for the youth playing in those sports would be great to not only have, you know, games, but almost community service abilities as well for the children.
What high school, sir?
I started at McKinley, but I graduated from Glen Oak.
How do you think you can enhance our park board for the senior citizens?
I think being
I
able.
know this one here. So
I think making sure that everything is ADA compliant is very needed. Just ensures have ready access to all of our public parks and amenities. I know I'm a proud dog owner, and that's one thing I would like to see is maybe a dog park coming to Kent. I was kind of part of the original group at the university that used the old shot and disc field to kind of make it a dog park, and now it is acknowledged at least by the university as one. However, when you go there, it would be hard for someone with ADA, especially a senior, to kind of maneuver around since the entrance doesn't really have a ramp for about 100 yards, and it's like a gravel entryway from there on out.
like every department in the city, their budgets are stretched. How
That's
can you bring new programs, do you think, for, well, the dog park, you brought it up,
mm.
when they have a stretched budget?
So, as previously mentioned, I served on my fraternity's executive board as the fundraising chair. So I am well inclined to go out and raise money if needed. I also the Arthritis Foundation and with the First Tee.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Planning Commission, is there Derek here?
If I could speak for
You're Derek?
Yeah, I told him I'd speak for him, he couldn't be here. Basically, all the members on the community development boards and commissions that were absent, the two for community and design preservation and Derek have been solid, strong members, with regards to, their participation and representation on the board. I had 3 members that weren't able to make it tonight, that are interested in participating.
Okay, we're gonna move into sustainability. Get it out, Piano. Sustainability. Yeah, thank you. Justin. No Justin, okay. Tracy.
Tracy Wallach, 231 Star Avenue. I'd like to be on the Sustainability Committee because every day it's becoming more and more urgent that we do something to help save our planet, and I'd like to be part of this.
What car do you drive?
Yeah, yes. I drive an electric. Well, I bring a vast experience in sustainability and recycling. You have my credentials right there in front of you, right? Expand on any of them. I know that they're working on the climate action plan right now, but I'd like to focus on things also that the city can do to help with sustainability. I've been vehicles are time it becomes cheaper because there's not the maintenance like they do with gas cars. And they're also more powerful and they have better pickup than regular engines. Maybe we can, solar panels up on the service department maybe? I noticed that he sent out a letter just recently about that.
He's still working on it.
Oh, why are you guys asking me questions?
Yeah, well, we are getting solar panels on the fire station. Whoops. We are getting solar panels on the fire station and also on the water plant, right? Water plant, maybe? Under review. Okay. Are you still working with the Solid Waste Commission in Portage County?
Yes.
And is there some way maybe you can, are there ways that you have identified perhaps that we as a city could work with the county on some issues?
So you mean transferring some of the things that the county's doing to the city?
Not necessarily, but partner on, you know, what additionally perhaps partner. You don't have to come up with them right now, but is that something you've been thinking about? Is that something you could bring to the table?
Yeah, I can discuss it with the policy committee and see where we're at with that, and with the director of the recycling center. She's done a lot to expand the things the recycling center takes right now. I mean, it's amazing. They're taking composting stuff, you know, all food scraps from the house. They're doing metals. They're doing all kinds. They're doing shredding paper now. They're doing a lot of new stuff. She's really expanded.
Thank you for applying.
Further questions?
Sure.
Hey, thank you, Tracy.
The ones that just stayed, we're gonna vote later tonight, but, you'll be notified by email about the results. Border Control.
Mike?
You want us to come to you?
I've got a hard copy here, Mike, if you need it.
Mr. Mayor. Jerry.
Mayor.
Jerry. I know there was someone who wanted to speak of the
Last one of the
member
year.
of the public.
So
They do it
we'll
under
have
public
minutes
communications.
from the last
Did-
meeting, which
the web-
Are they here?
They're not here because the website
would
says
be
7
next
o'clock.
week of December
That's your
4th.
start time.
All right.
Yeah, that's
Just let you know.
When they come in, let me know.
That's correct.
Well, you don't have to move those items, you just have to move the minutes, because we've already approved those items.
Yeah, I'm not.
You move the minutes, you second them? All right, any discussion? Aye. Opposed? They carry, and then for tonight, we've got two new items.
Chris, we actually thought this would take longer than it did.
Yeah. A lot of people not showing up.
And I mean, you sit there and wait and with a stopwatch and just keep it going. That's the catch-22.
I mean, yeah, you
No, if you see them come in, let me know.
Saying it went from up 42,000 from 250 to.
Is this the one?
Yes. Yes. And then.
Tell her,
Fire chief,
Chris, tell her to go sign in with the court.
one on the motion. You
I don't know her name.
Any discussion?
Is that her or him? I went there to put my glasses on.
We carry, and we're adjourned. Thanks. Hey, just keep you in the loop, not that you probably don't want to be. So, when Roger died,
Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Amrine? Ms. Bogo?
Here.
Mr. Clapper? Mr. De Leon? Mr. Hook?
Here.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Here.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Here.
Mr. Sidoti?
Here.
Mr. Turner?
Opening remarks, Mr. De Leon. Pledge allegiance, Mr. De Leon.
I just want to wish everybody a happy holidays and a safe new year. How's that? And with that, where's the flag?
It's way down the corner.
We'll go down here and say the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Public communication, there is none? Anybody sign in, Kathleen?
Nope.
Okay. Written communication.
On 11/25/24, the November meeting notes and December agenda for Standing Rock Cemetery were received. On 12/2/24, a notice from the Board of Liquor Control advising of a change of corporate stock ownership from 1450 Inc. to Rockneys Inc. was received. Chief Shearer has no objections. On 12/4/24, the November meeting minutes, November statistical report, and December agenda were received from the Health Department. A notice dated 11/27/24 was received from the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio advising of an increase in Enbridge Gas Ohio's rates and charges for service. A request for an updated list of city elected officials was received from the Ohio Ethics Commission. The update was completed and emailed on 12/6/24. The OEC will be doing another final update in January of 25. On 12/10/24, the Community Development Staff Report and BZA agenda were received and posted. On 12/13/24, certificates of election results concerning the renewal of the 1.16 mil tax levy and Sunday liquor sales in Precinct 5A were received from the Board of Elections.
That it?
That's it.
We're going to move back up to the second one, 12/2/24. We need a motion.
I'll move the return with no comment. Is that no comment?
Yeah. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. City manager's report, Jack.
Yes, I'd like to move items 1 through 8 on the city manager's report.
Second.
Second by Roger. Is there any discussion on the city manager's report? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. We're going to move into our consent agenda. That's my next thing. We need an approval of the November regular council meeting.
Also move in the December council meeting.
Okay, we'll do them both. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Roger. Any discussion on the minutes? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, would the clerk read drafts?
Draft 2024-122, an ordinance authorizing the City of Kent to fund the cost of the fireworks display for the 2025 Heritage Festival to Kent Area Chamber of Commerce for the 3 years subject to council's appropriation in each of those years and declaring an emergency. Draft 2024-123, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to contract on behalf of the City of Kent with the Office of the Public Defender, Portage County, for the provision of legal counsel to indigent persons charged with potential penalty of incarceration for offenses committed in violation of the ordinances of said city for the period January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025, and declaring an emergency. Draft 2024-124, an ordinance amending Section 35302, Parking Regulation Authorization of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Kent to change the permissible parking conditions on Vine Street and declaring an emergency. Draft 2024-125, an ordinance amending Chapter 358 titled Parking Meters in order to change Section 358.01, 358.06, 358.11, and adding new Section 358.16 and declaring an emergency. Draft 2024-126, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2023-97, the current appropriation ordinance, passed December 20th, 2023, so as to adjust appropriations, transfers, and advances from the various funds of the City of Kent to individual accounts for the current expenses of the city for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024, and declaring an emergency. Draft 2024-127, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2023-96, the position allocation, the general compensation plan, and AFSC-ME contract, and declaring an emergency. Draft 2024-128, an ordinance amending Section 91572 of the Kent Codified Ordinances, increasing the sewer rates of the City of Kent, Ohio by 3%, beginning with the first billing cycle in January 2025 and declaring an emergency. Draft 2024-129, an ordinance amending Section 913.05 of the Kent Codified Ordinances, increasing the water rates of the City of Kent, Ohio by 3%, beginning with the first billing cycle in January 2025 and declaring an emergency. Draft 2024-130, an ordinance authorizing the Finance Director upon the issuance of a certificate of availability of funds to pay certain purchase orders made that exceed $3,000 and declaring an emergency. Draft 2024-131, an ordinance appropriating from the various funds of the City of Kent to individual accounts for the current expenses of the city for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025, and declaring an emergency.
Okay, I need a motion for suspension for 122 to 131.
Second.
Roger. Please call the roll for suspension.
Ms. Elko?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Move adoption.
Second.
Second by Chris. Is there any discussion on adopting this ordinance? Seeing none, please call the roll for adoption.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ms. Selko?
Yes.
Consent agenda passes.
All right, done deal. Standing committees, legislation, there's nothing except the interviews under committee of the whole, community development. There's no business, health, and public safety. We do have a draft. So would the clerk read the draft? In title only?
Draft 2024-121, unauthorized, an ordinance authorizing the Kent Fire Department to apply for the fiscal year 2024 AFG grant through FEMA and to accept any grant if awarded with corresponding appropriations of funds, which provides funding for a new 100-foot ladder truck and declaring an emergency.
Move suspension.
Second.
Please call the roll on suspension.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ms. Selko?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Move adoption.
Second.
Second by Gwen, and is there any discussion on adopting this ordinance? Please call the roll for adoption.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ms. Selko?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Draft 2024-121 passes.
Okay, thank you. Land use, there's nothing to be discussed. Streets and sidewalks, we have a draft. Would the clerk please read draft in title only?
Draft 2024-118, unauthorized, an ordinance accepting a donation of a permanent right-of-way from Kent State University for the project known as the East Main Street Improvement Project and declaring an emergency.
Move suspension.
Second.
Second by Gwen. Please call the roll for suspension.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ms. Selko?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Move adoption.
Second.
Second by Melissa. Is there any discussion on adopting this ordinance? Please call the roll for adoption.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ms. Selko?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
And draft 2024-118 passes.
Okay, thank you. Would the clerk read draft number 2024-119 in title only?
Draft 2024-119 unauthorized, a resolution declaring the official intent and reasonable expectation of the City of Kent on behalf of the state of Ohio, the borrower, to reimburse its 201 water fund for the CG 27AB, CG 28AB, elevated and groundwater storage tanks rehabilitation with the proceeds of tax-exempt debt of the state of Ohio and declaring an emergency.
Move suspension.
Second.
Second by Melissa. Please call the suspension.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Ameren?
Yes.
Ms. Selko?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. DeLeon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Move adoption.
Second.
Second by Gwen. Is there any discussion on adopting this ordinance? Please call the roll for adoption.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Ameren?
Yes.
Ms. Selko?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. DeLeon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Draft 2024-120 passes. Pardon me. Draft 2024-119 passes.
Okay, got it. Would the clerk read draft number 2024-120 in title only?
Draft 2024-120 unauthorized, a resolution declaring the official intent and reasonable expectation of the City of Kent on behalf of the State of Ohio, the borrower, to reimburse its 202 sewer fund for the CG29AB, CG30AB, WRF Primary Clarifier Number 1 rehabilitation with the proceeds of tax-exempt debt of the State of Ohio and declaring an emergency.
Move suspension.
Second.
Second by Chris. Please call the roll for suspension.
Mr. Ameren?
Yes.
Ms. Selko?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. DeLeon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
And, draft 2024-120 passes.
Mike?
Those being unauthorized, we have to authorize those before we do that?
I think they already were.
On the Evangelist list.
City managers,
Yep.
are they all on there? Okay, I was looking.
Well, unless I missed them, they are.
Okay, all right, I was just curious, but I didn't.
All right. Any unfinished business? Okay, any new business? Good. You have a copy of the 2025 council committee meetings for next year in your hand someplace. I don't think we need a motion to accept it. So moving on, is there council members' comments? Roger.
Yeah, I would like to let my fellow council members know that I will not be taking out petitions for re-election in the primary in this spring. And to avoid any speculation or anything, I thought I would just let you guys know up front. So my last date will be December 17th of 2025. Be my last council meeting.
Thank you. That's kind of sad, but you know, sometimes we have to get newer generation in here. So we can sit on a rocking chair and watch them what they do.
Somewhere in his musings, and he said it much more eloquently than I could, Thomas Jefferson wrote something along these lines, I'm paraphrasing that, you get called to serve, and then you go back to the farm. And it was in response to all the things he did, and I've been a public figure for a long time. And so it's time for young people to step up, and I'll be supportive of that. And there really is no other reason. I love our city. I love you guys being part of the city council, but it's time. It's time. It's time for a younger generation, and we need to support them. So.
Understand.
And we have a weird situation. I have to declare a year ahead of time. That's my 1 year, yeah. So hey, it's my Taylor Swift year tour, right?
Any more comments? Mayor's report. I just want to say, you know, it's the last meeting of the year, and you know, Roger said a lot of things, but you know, sometimes I don't agree with you people, and sometimes I do, but you know something? We're a good cross-section of the city of Kent, and that's what it should be. And I'm, you know, proud to working with you. And if there's newer people taking these seats in, well, it'll be a year from now, so be it. But, you know, the city has to keep growing. and that's what's important. The other thing, it's the holiday seasons, you know, it's the time of the year that you gotta feel good about yourself and feel good that you can do something for somebody that can't feel good about themselves. And I don't know whether you celebrate Christmas or some other title to it, but respect the people, what they wish and what they believe in. So with that, we're gonna go into a executive session. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Call roll.
Ms. Selka?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Okay, I'll give it a couple minutes to clear the room. We're gonna return into a public session after executive session. If you wanna stand out in the hallway and come back, if not, it's business as usual. person before if they get appointed. Am I correct?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to go down here and we're going to get some names. Do I have a name for Board of Building Appeals?
Robert Rummel.
Mayor,
What?
we need a motion to insert the names into the legislation first.
That's what we're going to, I think we're doing that.
So we need to authorize them, so do you need a motion?
Well,
After we get the names.
we have to get the names in, then authorize it, right?
I don't know.
Yes.
We should have done that, we should have done that in
Follow me.
executive session.
They're not going to put me in jail. Somebody made a motion for the Board of Building Appeal?
I said I'd like to move Robert Rummel to be sorry.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mike. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The next one would be the zoning board.
Olivia Kennedy.
Yes.
You made the motion, Mike?
I'll second.
Second, yeah.
Melissa seconded. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, Preservation Committee.
I'd like to move Alan Orshun and Mark Wiseman to appoint them to the Design and Preservation.
I'll second that.
Second by Jack. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Fair Housing Board.
I'll move Rubens and Sinatus.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Roger. Any discussion on it?
Announce it. Okay.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Parks and Rec.
I'd like to, go ahead. No, you,
Oh, I'd like to move Jillian Tipton and Steve Mitchell.
I'll second that.
Stephen Mitchell.
Any discussion on the two names? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Planning Commission.
I'd like to move Derek Salustro.
I'll second that.
That's second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And down to the sustainability, we're going to hold one. I need a motion for one name.
I would like to move Tracy Wallach.
I'll second that.
Second by Jack. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Loan Review Board, he interviewed 2 weeks ago.
I'll move Jason Stewart.
I'll second.
Second by Roger. Is there any discussion?
He is on the front list here.
Is that discussion, Jeff? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. So now I need a motion to authorize the names in the below draft. Am I correct?
I will move.
With
So
the
moved by Chris, with the names inserted. Okay, Chris made the motion. Who seconded it? You?
Yes,
Melissa
with
sec-
emergency, that's all.
With the emergency, okay. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, I think we're legal. Would the clerk read draft number 2024-1, no, with the consent agenda, would the clerk read the draft with the names inserted?
Draft 2024-132, a resolution appointing Robert Rummel to the Board of Building Appeals and declaring an emergency. Draft 2024-133, a resolution appointing Olivia Kennedy to the Board of Zoning Appeals and declaring an emergency. Draft 2024-134, a resolution appointing Alan Orshun and Mark Weissman to the Design and Preservation Committee and declaring an emergency. Draft 2024-135, a resolution appointing Reuven Cincinnatus to the Fair Housing Board and declaring an emergency. Draft 2024-136, a resolution appointing Steve Mitchell and Jillian Tipton to the Parks and Recreation Board and declaring an emergency. Draft 2024-137, a resolution appointing Derek Salustro to the Planning Committee and declaring an emergency. Draft 2024-138, a resolution appointing Tracy Wallach to the Sustainability Commission and declaring an emergency. Draft 2024-139, a resolution appointing Jason Stewart to the Loan Review Board and declaring an emergency.
I have a motion for suspension.
Move suspension.
Second.
Second. Please call the roll on suspension. Hope said I'm legal.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Schaefer Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ms. Selko?
Yes.
Need a motion for adoption. Go ahead, Roger.
Move adoption.
Second. Now, does anybody have any discussion on adopting any of these grass ordinances? Call the roll for adoption.
Mr. De Leon? Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ms. Selko?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
All right, I think the other thing is we have to have Patty get a hold of the other applicant for the sustainability and invite her back, and also email all the people that they were appointed. I think. Is there anything else, Heidi?
Yeah, and also, be nice to James Doherty.
What's that?
Yeah, be nice to James Doherty, because we might just want him to serve on maybe the Parks Board in the future, or maybe he might be interested in something else, but.
Let me say this one more time. The letter we sent out asks them to consider other boards appointed, so it's kind of a given.
Good.
It's just general business. Okay, anything else? You know, you guys have a good holiday.
Thank you.
We're adjourned.